Bam! What's the deal, my peoples? Y'all already know what this is, man. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. I'm Jay Smith. Salute to everybody tuning in, man. Size in the building. West Dusset, my brother, John Parham, the General. What's the deal, my peoples? Ernest Morales, Toy Mafia. Who the ones that's my day one people that's in the building right now. Check this out, man. Check this out, man. So Jake Paul apparently is gonna be getting in the ring with Anthony Joshua in December. The official announcement hasn't been put out yet, but we're getting, you know, information that suggests it's happening, right? So I reached out to somebody who I know got all type of connections. And I just say, yo, is this fight gonna be real? And the answer that I got was, yes, sir. It's gonna be for real. So we haven't gotten the official announcement yet. You guys know that it was an exhibition with Tank Davis for obvious reasons. Well, is this gonna be an exhibition? Is it gonna be a real fight? What I'm hearing is that it's gonna be for real. West does it. I'm way more excited about this fight than that Tank fight. Of course, because this can actually be a real fight. Talking about two big guys. With Tank Davis, you remember that I questioned it. Is this actually going to be for real? Is it going to be scripted? You know, do they already know who's going to win before the fight even starts? But in this case, when I think about AJ, a former world champion, a guy, you know, who got his pride, who got his ego, who wants to win, I really don't see him taking a dive. I don't see it. And I'm not saying that Tank Davis was gonna take a dive, but that was an exhibition. You know, when you hear exhibition, it doesn't already sound like a real fight. But in this case, if they're fighting for real, it's gonna be crazy. It is gonna be absolutely crazy because now you got boxing fans interested. The other one is it's a show, right? But this is, if you know, if that's correct, and this is a real fight, it just got a lot more exciting because this means that Jake Paul is gonna be involved in a real fight with a real fighter. Just do boxing. What's good, Jake? What's the deal, my G? Is Jake Paul delusional by taking this fight? Can he handle it? Love More Hindu is a bro. Joshua gonna kill him. Sorry, AJ might put Jake to sleep. Mr. KO. Maybe because of the mixed match, but this is more reasonable for Jake. John Parham. So Jake willing to get KO for a bag. It's gonna have to be a heck of a bag, man, because it's gonna be quite brutal. Brutal, I tell you. If it's for real, I just said it. This fight became a lot more interesting right now. From thinking that this could be for real. Because we already knew that Tank versus Jake was gonna be an exhibition. And even though they said that they was gonna have judges, that they was gonna announce a winner, I was like, listen, I'm not convinced it's gonna be for real until they inside the ring trading leather. And I'm like, oh, they trying to hurt each other. Then I'm thinking it's for real. But I never really bought into that fight as being real because it was an exhibition. If this is announced as a fight, as a real fight that's gonna go in the box rack, my peoples, if that is the case, this fight got interesting for real because you have to think about all of us who's been saying, yo, Jake Paul, you know, he don't fight nobody. He don't fight nobody. He always got the advantage. He always got the edge. My peoples, if he fight Anthony Joshua, whatever we believe the results are gonna be. But he's fighting a real one. He's fighting a live one. And I think most of us have similar expectations of how this fight plays out, if it's for real. So, of course, Jay gotta be deluded to take this fight. Man, deluded is it's a nice way to put it. You gotta be delusional. Delusional, bro. Confused, bewildered, all type of confused. Love more Hinduism. I doubt it's gonna happen. Let's see. Let's see, man. Usually when there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a lot of smoke going around this fight. And I'm telling you, Love More Hinduism, the person who told me that this fight is gonna be for real, they're very, very well connected. They connected with people in both camps. So I think we're gonna get this, bro. Honestly. The Booze Traveler. AJ gonna smack the piss out of Jake. A real brutal bladder movement. Listen, if it's gonna be for real, I think the overwhelming majority of fans are gonna expect Jake to go to sleep in brutal fashion. Brutally. Wes does it. Selling that chin. Cause Tommy Fury put hands on him. And he ain't top 100. Damn, top 100? Well, yeah, he ain't top 100. Or maybe, you never know. Maybe he could be in the top 80s, 90s. You never know. Side, Jake will find a way out last minute. And he'll have a rematch with Nate Diaz. Come on, man. Nah. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And Jake Paul, he'll never step in the ring with a non-boxer. Or at least somebody who's not in combat sports. So, I mean, Nate Diaz is an MMA guy, but his age, I think, I could be wrong, right? I can be wrong. But I think Jake Paul is now going to start pivoting into making fights that people could take more serious. I think he's going to start doing that. You know, he knows people are tired of the, you fighting a 50-something-year-old guy. You fighting a retired guy. You fighting an MMA guy who hasn't fought in years. People don't want to see none of that, and he knows it. So I think, and not just that, Jake Paul's delusional. He believes that he can get to the top. So I think he will start stepping up in competition and get pummeled out there. John Parham. Jake know AJ got a nice following, and that's it. Jake tried to do numbers on Netflix. I mean, he's going to do numbers, but, you know, they're going to do a number on him, too. Mr. KO, I didn't see AJ taking the fall for any amount, but that doesn't mean I'm not expecting any rigged excuses if Jake beats AJ. I mean, what do you think are the odds that Jake Paul can beat AJ? What are the odds? I wonder it. Love More Hinduism. R.I.P. Jake Paul. Man. Wes does it. What Errol Spence say? Put his in the dirt. That sounds weird, but he gonna put him in the dirt if that fight happens. Pause. Love More Hinduism. I know AJ washed, but damn. Listen, man. People could say AJ's washed. They could say whatever they want about AJ, bro. But, nah. AJ's gonna put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Beats on Jake Paul if this fight happens. Ramirez, drop the link. I don't have the link available, bro. You see what I'm saying? But check this out. After I finish this live, later on, I'm gonna go back on and the link will be available. So anybody that wanna get down and cook. And by the way, my peoples, for those of you who don't know, check out Box Center 2.0. It's tagged right. I put it right there in the comments. My peoples, I'm just waiting to get to 50 subscribers to start the new show. And I don't know if you know this, Ramirez, but the new show that'll be on Box Center 2.0, there's going to be a hotline. People will be able to call in. You're going to have 1 minute to express yourself Whatever you want to say, whether you want to give the fighter flowers, whether you want trash talking is allowed. No flag on the plate. So the people that I normally send on 24-hour breaks and even block, they're gonna rock over there. They're gonna say whatever they want to say. As long as you're not bringing up politics or religion, you talking boxing, you're gonna rock. So come on, my people, subscribe to Box Center 2.0. 15 more subscribers to get there and get that new show popping off. Wes Dustin, if he believe in himself, look, man, I'm gonna tell you guys like this. If Jake Paul believe in himself, salute, Kano Crush. If Jake Paul goes into that fight believing that he can win it, he going to sleep. Brutally. Because if he fight to survive, clinching and moving and he fights to survive, he could go a long way, maybe even the distance, fighting to survive. If you think you're gonna win, you're getting knocked out. He knocked. You got Chris Eubank Jr. winning against Conor Benn. I haven't been able to make a prediction on that fight, my brother. To be honest, I haven't been able to make that prediction just yet. I know it's a real good fight, and it's gonna be competitive, but I'll get back to you on that. Wes Dustin, Jake gonna be sending hookers and dope to AJ's hotel all week. I don't think nothing is gonna work to save him, man. Nothing. Because here's what I see from AJ. Think about this. Right now, he's not a world champion, but he's a former world champion. He's a guy who's wealthy, who has a lot of money, made millions and millions of dollars in boxing. So if he wanted to, he could retire and never fight again. So does a guy like that get into an exhibition with someone like Jake Paul and take a dive for money when he doesn't need it? I can't imagine it. That's why I'm telling you guys that I see AJ sleeping him brutally. Mr. KO 80-20. The Boost Traveler. Lord, odds for Jake. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Jake, but he's dying to prove the world wrong about himself and now going about it the wrong way, trying AJ. Listen, I could have said it exactly just like that. And I feel like Jake Paul is delusional, and it's like he's trolling himself into a nasty-ass whooping. Because just think about it. You lost to Tommy Fury. And I tell you what. Right now, Jake Paul is better than when he fought Tommy Fury. I'll give him that. But is he world caliber? Because you have to understand, even though AJ's not a champion right now, he's a world caliber fighter. Is Jake Paul really ready for that level? Hell no. Not happening. Wes Dustin, Jake gonna rush in and get beat into the mat. Man, I'm telling you, if he goes in there thinking that he can win, he's getting knocked out. Brutally. If he fights to survive, he could even go the distance. Take some nasty, take a beating, but go the distance in survival mode. Ramirez. Funny thing is, any other real fighter that get in with Jake Paul gonna get mad credit when Tank got all the hate. So, Tank got all the hate. You have to understand this. Tank got all the hate because he ducked a rematch with Lamar Roach. That's why he got all the hate. Because I didn't see people saying, don't fight Jake Paul. I saw people saying, fight Lamar Roach first, because you already got a date for him, and then fight Jake Paul. You still could fight him. He could have fought both. He could have fought Lamar Roach rematch, and then Jake Paul. So that's why he got that hate. Anthony Joshua is different. He don't have a pending opponent. He doesn't have anybody that people are perceiving he's ducking. He took the fight, apparently, or he's about to take it. And I tell you what, here's the difference, Ramirez, that you also skipping. People didn't believe that was a real fight. The size difference, the weight difference. people didn't. I personally was still questioning, was that gonna be a real fight? It's an exhibition, bro. But Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, bro, that's gonna be a real fight. It might actually be that. Going in the box rec and everything. You can't compare the two. This is a fight that if it's gonna be real, it attracts boxing fans. Not just the YouTuber fans, not just a big crowd of people that are, oh my God, it's Jake Paul. Boxing fans are going to be attracted because now Jake Paul is going to be in there for that real test that people have been asking him for. There you have it. Ramirez, J. Smith, how you know Joshua Pockets, Eddie, can be making 90% of the money? Will Joshua only get 10? Don't say that, Smith. We don't know Joshua Pockets. Ramirez, Google Joshua net worth, man. You wildin' out. Like, Ramirez, all I have to tell you is that you're saying is ignorant because no promoter make 90% of the purse. No promoter. Standard is 30, 35, standard. No promoter. 90% is a number that you made up in your head to hate on Joshua, to try to disagree. This guy's a millionaire. This guy's wealthy. I don't know how you came up with that 90% number, Ramirez. You made that up in your head or somebody lied to you. Tell me who told you that promoters make 90% of the purse. Who told you that? Tell me, and I'm going to call him a liar right here on this show in front of you. They lied to you, Ramirez. Wes does it. Joshua is a KO artist. You got to be top 10 to stand a chance. Joshua ain't no regular boxer. He's a puncher who boxes. What happened is, Wes does it, that if you understand the sport of boxing, you'll say exactly that. But if you don't understand the sweet science, you're just like, no, he lost. He lost to this guy. He lost to that guy. Now he washed, he done. You're not really understanding the reality that there's levels in boxing, and Joshua already achieved the highest level, while AJ lost to Tommy Fury. What level he on? If we start putting levels to see what level AJ is on, what level Jake Paul is on, that's all you got to look at. That right there suggests Jake Paul is going to sleep. In brutal fashion. If the referee don't step in, it's going to be disgusting. Jay is in the house. Hello, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go. Hit that like button and subscribe, everyone. Y'all already know what it is, man. Box Center 2.0. Look at the comments right there. Subscribe to that channel so we could get to 50 subscribers ASAP. West does it. Tank dropped off the coins like Sonic the Hedgehog. Now we get a good fight. I mean, it's crazy the way that it played out because just a few days ago, Jake Paul didn't have an opponent, right? He said, hey, look, we not, this fight is not happening. We're moving on. And now he's actually potentially moving into a real fight with a former world champion who can still bang in Anthony Joshua. Come on now. Come on, my people. Let's keep it 100. The Boost Traveler. AJ would never take a fight at 10% payday. And no other fighter would either. I mean, Ramirez made that 10%, like, I don't know, out of thin air. Like, I just want to hear Ramirez tell us who told him that. Who told you that, Ramirez? I'm going to call him a liar on this show. Who told you that? The Boost Traveler, I just subscribed, Jay Smith. Appreciate it, my brother. And I promise you, once we get to 50 subscribers the same day, I'm going to announce the new show. I'm going to let you know when it kicks off. And there's going to be a hotline. You guys will be able to call in. We're going to be going back and forth. The trash talking is going to be epic. Just let this sizzle in your spirit. I created a whole new channel for that show just because I was like, yo, if YouTube is going to block the whole channel after we go at it, you know, because we're going to be cursing each other out and everything. It's a hotline. It's going to be hot. So if YouTube is going to block me, I don't want this channel to get blocked out. So we're going to go at it over there. If they let us rock, it's going to be epic. Simple as that. It's going to be epic. Ramirez, bro, drop the link. We're going to be litty on the hotline. Yo, man, listen, you got to understand. Ramirez, subscribe to Box Center 2.0 because you definitely, I hope you don't duck that smoke. Don't duck that smoke. Oh, it's going to be crazy over there. If YouTube don't ban us, it's going to be crazy. Ramirez, I'm going to teach Jay Smith a couple of things. My brother, trust, respectful, but also educated conversation. Salute, my brother. It's all love. It's all for the sweet science. We all love the sweet science. So it's never personal, and it's always for the love of the sweet science. But don't duck that smoke on Box Center 2.0. Just, I'm saying, when that hotline open up, y'all better be ready. I'm going to be wearing my apron up in there. My peoples, let me just say this. For this fight right here, I want you guys to tell me, do you think, forget about who wins and who loses, because we already, all of us see the same winner. This is what I want to ask you. Over or under 6 rounds? What is the over or under for Jake Paul to get knocked out? 6 rounds. Let me know. Y'all let me know. Over or under 6 rounds? Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Does it go past 6 rounds or below 6 rounds? John Parham says under. Wes does it under. Jay Smith, I have to go back to work. Salute, my brother. Sai says under. The Boost Traveler, under 6 rounds. Mikey Malcriado, over. He got a brawling chin. yo, Jake Paul send the black chin though. So Mikey Malcriado, how far you say it goes? Mr. KO, facts. Wes does it. Ease, JJ. Ramirez, never duck, no smoke, but real shit. I like boxer puncher with grit and dog in them. Just because someone a great boxer doesn't mean they can beat everyone. Power with good IQ and decent footwork can beat a great boxer. JJ's in Dejas. So what are you predicting, Ramirez? Are you predicting Jake Paul's going to win this fight? Let it be known. Come on now. Don't beat around the bush now. Don't be tippy-toeing around it. I don't want to hear what it takes to be a great boxer. I want to hear, what do you have happening in this fight? The over or under is 6 rounds. Is Jake Paul going to get knocked out after or before round number 6? Are you suggesting he's going to win this fight? Let it be known. Put it out there. Don't duck. JJ's in their eyes. If it's a real fight, it will go no more than 5 rounds. Wes does it. He gonna knock the hair off of Jake's face. Whoa. Mikey Malcriado, I say 7-round KO. KO, not TKO, right? You're not saying the referee gonna pull the plug. KO, you suggesting he goes to sleep? That type of situation, brutally? Mr. KO, Tommy Fury tested Jake chin. I really haven't seen his chin tested by an active boxer his size. Listen, AJ is going to do more than test it. He's going to shatter it. Wes does it. He thinks Shakur taught him to be a real fighter. That's what he think. He thinks Shakur Stevenson talent and skills transferred onto him. He got something else coming. And I'm going to tell you something. Working with Shakur Stevenson and sparring with him, it made him better. Don't get it twisted. I promise you, there's stuff that he learned. Yo, he didn't pay money just to be a fan of Shakur and take some pictures with him and all that. Trust me. Shakur got a bag for that, and Jake Paul paid so he could learn some things, and he did learn some things. But that's not going to be enough to make you a world caliber type fighter when you don't have that level of talent. I could get in there with Shakur myself and learn a few things. But if I step in there with a championship caliber fighter, I'm going to sleep. That's just the reality. That's just the reality. Mikey Malcriado, he going to sleep like Nate Robinson. Oh, face first? Damn, son. Ramirez, I don't think Jake can fuck with Joshua. Joshua got too much experience. You see Joshua versus Jake, that's a bull fight. Joshua is Jake's size, is not even bigger with IQ and experience. Look, man, I really think that Jake Paul is delusional enough to believe that he can win that fight. He believes that he can win that fight. I'm going to remind you that last year he was actually saying that he's going to fight and beat AJ. He was saying that before. That AJ is somebody that he was going to beat. I think it was after AJ lost. He was like, I could beat him. So he believes it. Well, he's going to find out. Gonna find out. Ramirez, at least with Tank versus Jake, Tank was small. 5'4" versus 6 foot. Decent fighter. I mean, I felt like Tank was going to beat him up too. But at least he could survive the beating maybe. This time around, it's going to be tough to just survive the beating. Side, he thinks because he got beat up by little dudes that he can beat up big AJ. Le van a dar una paliza, loco. They're going to beat him up. West does it. Jake will never be the athlete AJ is. Not to mention, he was an Olympian. It's that pedigree. That pedigree, when you see a fighter that has that type of pedigree, you know, accomplished in the amateurs, came up and then accomplished as a professional, it's a different level. It's a different skill level. Let me give you guys an example. Let me tell you a quick story. Jay Smith story time. This will just be like 2 minutes to just tell you how I know these things. If you're old enough, you probably heard of Agapito Sanchez. Google him. Matter of fact, you don't even have to Google him. Google Manny Pacquiao, his box rack, and you scroll down and you'll find that name, Agapito Sanchez. He fought to a draw with Manny Pacquiao. That's why it's easy to find his name in Pac-Man's box rack, because when you scroll down, he don't have a bunch of draws. You, boop, that one will stand out. Agapito Sanchez was a Dominican fighter, rest in peace, who trained in Gleason's gym. And my trainer, Maximo, knew him, was cool with him. So when I was preparing for the Golden Gloves, he told Agapito to give me some work to help me out and shit so he could teach me some moves. And Agapito was like, sure, no doubt. And yo, he was supposed to give me 4 rounds. And in round number 2, my coach had to pull me out, bro. My coach had to pull me out. Now watch this. I spent the whole round number 1 chasing him and trying to catch him. And he was just moving and jabbing. The whole round number 1, he was only using the jab. That's it. Papa let me chase him around. And, you know, he would switch stance on me and all that. This guy was nice, my peoples. I used to see him sparring with Zab Judah. When Zab was like maybe 15-0, 16-0, I used to see him sparring with Agapito. And they used to be giving each other good work. And remember, I'm an amateur boxer going to the Golden Gloves. This guy is a world caliber type fighter, sparring with me. There was nothing I could do with him. Nothing I could do. Then in the second round, he just came with body blows. He would let me punch first, pop, and counter me to the body. Ooh! And I would feel those. Then I would start to get closer. Pop, pop! Counter me to the body again. And the whole second round, he was only countering me to the body. And towards the end of the round, he countered me. And at the same time he countered me, I shot a left hook and I caught him good with that one. Bang! So it's like we hit each other at the same time, but I landed the better shot and I caught him good. And I was wearing the headgear, he wasn't. He tasted that. Y'all remember he just smiled. And he just gave me 2 to the body. He got closer, pop, pop. And I went like that. Coach jumped in. Yo. it was still time to go into the round. Déjalo ahí, déjalo ahí. Vamos a dejarlo ahí. They stopped it right there. My coach sensed that, like, yo, he got a little bit tight with that shot. He's going to put hands on you. Got me out of there, my peoples. Got me out of there. Save me. So, what I'm trying to say by telling you guys that story is that when you have someone who's so many levels above you, there's not a lot that you could do. There just isn't a whole lot. Because this guy's a world caliber fighter. I'm an amateur boxer, you know, getting ready for the Golden Gloves. He's way, way too many levels above me. So everything that I was doing, he was reacting too fast to me. I remember feeling like, why the hell I can't land a single jab on this guy? Why? My coach kept telling me, jab him, jab him, jab him. I could not land a jab, bro. And then every time I landed, I actually landed a jab, I was going to eat something in return. Bang! Oh, damn. Bang! Coño. So when you have somebody like Anthony Joshua, who's world caliber, has that amateur pedigree, versus Jake Paul, there's a huge gap in skills, my people. Huge gap. We're going to see it. They fight, we're going to see it. Jake Paul goes to sleep. You think Jake Paul is going to give a better fight than Francis Ngannou? You saw how that played out. And Francis, a big dude, imposing guy, strong guy, went to sleep. Wes does it. Being the best, you know, versus the best in the country, it's a different animal. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different story. Wes Dustin, world class. Everybody is special. Everybody has power. Everybody has deep experience. And that's the thing Wes doesn't. You see, you're talking boxing now. Now you on some keeping it real type shit. That's an understanding that most fans don't have, unfortunately. They think that these guys that go all the way to the top, that win world titles, that the moment they lose, they wash and they bumps and they hype jobs. So there's going to be people that will say, no, he's done. Jake Paul could beat him because he typed done already. Because they don't have that understanding. See, they don't understand that part. At that level, man, listen, everybody's different. It just don't look different to you while you're watching it on TV. But let me give you an example. You see the people that say that Shakur ain't never beat nobody? These people don't understand the level that Edwin De Los Santos is on. They don't understand that. They don't understand the level that a lot of these guys that Shakur beat, the level that they really on. Ramirez Smith, how the F? I don't got a wrench yet. So now you know Jay Smith, when Tank be go. Hold on. So now you know Jay Smith, what Tank been going through. He human, just like you, Jay Smith. Don't want to be getting hit. Tank already got a good resume. He was champion that's winning in a lifetime. Okay, so here's the problem with what you're saying, Ramirez, that you need to take into consideration. Tank Davis, according to you and according to a lot of people, is the best fighter. According to you, he is the best fighter. So when you have those expectations, Ramirez, everybody who's not a Tankomaniac, expect them to fight the best. While you keep wanting to give him a pass, other people actually expect him to fight the best. So he 30 years old, and at 30 years old, you're going to say, it's cool that he ain't fighting none of the top dogs. Come on, man. Come on. Tank Davis, he's going to have people on him. He's always going to have people on him because of that, because you are looked at as the best. A lot of people consider Tank the best. Look at this. Why is Tank Davis not top 3 on the pound for pound list? Because he didn't fight the guys that would put him up there. That's why. Come on, man. You talk. There you go, ignoring that he ain't fight none of the best. You see, that's the difference between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson fight everybody that's down to fighting him. And look, right now, it looks like he's going to fight Teofimo Lopez on January 31st. Shakur Stevenson is 2 years. He's 28 years old, 2 years younger than Tank Davis. And that fight versus Teofimo is going to be bigger, a better opponent than every single body in Tank Davis' whole resume. And now you're not going to be able to have no argument against that. You see how you're trying to make this conversation like, no, he beat undefeated opponents and he beat good fighters. Well, Shakur Stevenson, when he beat Teofimo Lopez, how are you going to compare a win over Teo versus anything in Tank Davis' resume? At what point do you say, yo, Tank got to fight these guys? And stop with the capping. Stop with the defending. Stop with the explanations about these other things that make it cool. Wes does it. Has Tank ever unified? He never unified titles. Shakur has. Shakur unified titles. And Shakur won legit titles in multiple divisions. Mikey Macarial, Tank beat his girl too. Oh, come on. That's a low blow, bro. You ain't got to go there. That's a low. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. You get a flag on the play for that one. Because I'm going to tell you what, man. Honestly, even if people joke around about that situation and all of that, but at the end of the day, the reason it bothers me the most is because obviously you don't want to see no female in no negative situation, but you know, he's one of the most talented fighters in boxing. And do you want to see a guy like that accomplish as much as he can, fight everybody and see how those fights play out? Hell yeah. That's what I really want to see. I don't want to see Tank dealing with legal situations. I definitely don't want to see him go to jail. I don't want to see him. I just want to see the guy, you know, live out his life, be happy, and fight the best. Fight the best out there. Because I said it before. I feel like if Tank was to say, I'm going to fight Shakur, I'm going to fight Teo, I'm going to fight Devin, I'm going to move up, I'm going to fight Gary Antoine Russell, I'm going to fight this guy. If he's going to fight everybody, I think Tank Davis retires with a record of, let's say, 42-1, 43-2. He's going to retire with a crazy record and with a bunch of names on his resume if he do that. That's what I want to see. So that Ramirez doesn't have to be cop and police and explaining himself about he fought undefeated fighters, though, that was really good. Nah. If he fight the people that he got to fight, you don't have to be cop and police, Ramirez. Wes does it. He hasn't unified. Mr. KO, nah. He didn't unify. Mikey Macarial, flag on the play. Wes does it. Real spill, Jay Smith. And that's what I'm talking about. Honestly, Mikey Macarial, I love Tank. Me too, bro. Some people think that I'm a Tank hater. I'm not a Tank hater at all. I don't, you know, obviously the situation that he's involved in is unfortunate. You don't want to see nobody dealing with that type of situation. And if it is true that he need help, yes. But what do you want to see when you have such an exceptional athlete in front of you, and that you know he's generous, you know he look out for people around him, he look out for people in Baltimore and shit like that. You know that there's a lot of people that'll tell you he a good dude and he looked out for this person, that person. So do you really want to cling on to an image of he the villain and may the worst happen to the villain? No. He's a human being that's made some mistakes, and I want to see him get past it, and I want to see him step in the ring against the best. That's the reality. I want to see him step in the ring against the best out there. Side, Tank is a waste of potential. Nah, my brother. I wouldn't say that he's a waste of potential. You know why? He's 30 years old. If he was, look, if he was 39, 40, and dealing with this same situation, then I would tell you that I say he's cooked. Because at the tail end of your career, something like this, you done. What you gonna do? But at years old, Tank could fight in 6 months if he wanted to. I would tell him take a year off. Take a year off, work on yourself, work on your family, work on your public image, do all of that. A year later, come back. Good training camp, good name opponent, and keep it moving. Wes Dussett. Devin way too big for Tank now, in my opinion. Honestly, I don't think so. Remember Wes Dussett? Tank Davis was preparing for Jake Paul. This guy's big as hell right now. As a matter of fact, Tank Davis right now may actually be heavier than Devin. Because Devin is making weight, making 147. And Tank Davis was going to fight weighing like 170 pounds. So he's big right now. John Parham. If Jake catch AJ, oh my God, that's going to be crazy. If Jake catch him with a haymaker and sleep him, AJ's going to have to retire on the spot. He's going to have to wake up and announce retirement right there on the spot. Wes Dussett. Tank is a natural 135-pounder. I got to disagree with you, my brother. I'm a 100% disagree with you. You remember that he moved up to 140, right? And Fort Barrios had moved back down. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to convince you right now that he's not a 135-pounder. I'm going to convince you. Watch this. Think about when he moved to the 135 division, because he was fighting at 130, right? Just hear me out, my G. Hear me out. Tank fought in the 130 division, right? And then he moved to 135. He moved to the 135 division when he was 25 years old. Right now he's 30, 5 years later. Wes Dussett, my G. I want you to think about your own body. Everybody in here, think about your own body when you was 25 and when you was 30. So Tank Davis been making the same weight since he was 25 years old. Now, between fights, he be walking around 160s, 170s. I know you seen the images of Tank Davis between fights when he not in training. So what we could really say Tank is, it's a weight bully. While all these other guys that are younger than him kept moving up, Tank Davis kept clinging on to that 135 division and fighting guys that can make that weight. So he has the athleticism and the discipline to make 135. But Tank Davis is look at his frame. Look at his frame. Tank Davis. In fact, check this out, Wes Dussett. This is a prediction that I made. I said Tank Davis was not going to be able to keep making 135 pounds. He was either going to have to go to 140 or retire if you don't want to smoke in that division. Because he's not going to be able to make 135 much longer. Because you know what would have happened, Wes Dussett? If he would have tried to keep making 135, he was going to get this so weight drained that a less talented opponent was going to end up beating him. He was going to go to the deep rounds and be too drained to be effective and get beat. I'm telling you, my G. Charles Mills, Tank only 5'5". He tops out at 154. Now, I mean, I don't. You mean 154 in boxing? I don't think he'll ever go that far up. I think Tank Davis either 140 or 147 because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fight big guys. That's why he's been at 135 all these years. You don't want to fight bigger guys like that. Wes does it. I'm the same, Jay Smith. I was a wrestler, 5'4", 135. Gained 10 pounds since high school. I'm basically Tank size. I just don't balloon up like him. I'm trying to tell you, Tank Davis, he has the discipline. He has the discipline to make. You don't have his frame, my brother. You don't have Tank Davis' frame. If you're weighing in your 140s, you don't have that frame. Because when he not training, this guy's outgains you by 20 pounds. By 20 pounds. Tank Davis, Charles Mills. You haven't seen Tank Davis, bro. You haven't seen him in between fights. I've seen people in interviews saying, yo, man, Tank Davis be walking around in the 170s, B. I've seen Tank Davis walking around 175. Regardless of the way he walk around in, I felt like he was not going to be able to make 135 much longer. He was going to have to move up to 140. But here's the deal, my people. If Tank Davis says, I'm going to fight everybody, Shakur, Tio, Dev, Mo to 140, Gary Antoine Russell, and the gang over there, how many people can actually beat Tank Davis? If he fight everybody, like we've been saying, fight this guy, fight that guy, fight. How many people actually beat Tank Davis? I say if he fight everybody, he retires with a record of like 42-1, 43-2, with a bunch of champions in his resume. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Tank fight everybody. That's what I want to see. Fight everybody. Right now, take a little break. Take a little break. Fly under the radar. Work on yourself or your personal situations. Come back. Come back in a year. And that's it. Do your thing. Mikey Macria, without a rehydration clause, that I cannot answer for you, my brother, because the details, at least I haven't received them. The only thing that I've got from someone that I know has people inside is that this fight is going to be for real. Fight is going to be for real. The Boost Traveler. Tank will need to stay at 140 more than likely, but that's only my opinion, though. I think he stays at 140. Maybe he fights at 147 at the tail end of his career, like move up for a big fight or something like that. But I think the rest of his career will play out at 140. Like, for example, I could see him moving up to 147 to fight Devin Haney or to fight Shakur Stevenson down the line. That could happen. Ramirez, hold on, Jay Smith. You think Shakur can mess with Tio? Shakur's going to beat Teofimo Lopez. What are you talking about? Shakur's going to beat him. That I know you don't want him to beat him, but that's what's going to happen. Put respect on Tio. Nobody's disrespecting Teofimo Lopez. What are you talking about, bro? You see Ramirez, that's where you go laugh, man. That's where you go laugh. One moment you talk knowledgeable, and then one moment you talk like a casual. So saying that Shakur, one of the greatest fighters of this era, beats Tio is disrespecting Tio. Somebody got to be disrespected for somebody to win. Come on, bro. That's a casual perspective. When two great fighters fight, one is going to win, one is going to lose. Why you got to diminish the one that's going to lose? You don't have to do that, bro. That's how you're going to cook me with that type of logic. You need some teaching, man. I'm not just going to teach you, man. You need to be spanked. Bam, bam. You need a spanking with that type of logic. Mike Macria. I mean, Tank, if he fights everyone, he's supposed to fight without rehydration clause. I mean, look, I don't care how he fight them, to be honest. If you sign the contract, that's it. I don't want to hear nothing else. I just want to see Tank Davis fight all of these guys and see how it all plays out. Because, look, right now, we've already had Tank fight Ryan Garcia, right? But Ryan Garcia is the only one in that crew who never won a title. Teofimo won a title, Devin won a title, Shakur won a title. Tank can fight none of them. All of them have unified titles. Tank hasn't. So how does it play out? The only missing link for all of these guys to really be fighting each other is Tank Davis. I want to see him join that action. Mikey Malcriado, super easy work for Shakur. Camboso's best Tio. Zai, Tio cannot beat Shakur. Ramirez, how is Shakur gonna beat him? 2 times lineal king. Damn, Ramirez, you see, that's how I know you're gonna get cooked so easily. You still use that logic after watching Terence Crawford put the beats on Canelo Alvarez? You still using that logic? You was using that logic on Canelo. You gonna use it for this time around? Stop it. Stop it, bro. Sai, Kambosos beat Tio. And Sai, let me know who beat Shakur. Just let me know who beat Shakur. We know who beat Tio. Who beat Shakur? Sai, how does Tio beat Shakur? Mikey Malcriado, I'll bet any amount Shakur is gonna easily beat Tio. And I'm gonna say this, look. Teofimo Lopez is a fighter that I got mad respect for. I got respect for him. He can fight. He's an accomplished fighter. The fact that I have Shakur Stevenson beating him doesn't mean that I'm diminishing him in any way, shape, or form. Friday, what's happening, big fella? How you been? You been training? Nah, I haven't been training. I've been running a little something. Not training like that, though. Mikey Malcriado, we won't ever see Shakur lose. Shakur may retire undefeated. This generation's Floyd Mayweather right there. Shakur's not even going to be the next Floyd. He's going to be the first Shakur. Why? Because that's already little kids talking about they doing it like Shakur. Sai, Bub beat his ass in sparring, though. But also he was a little kid. Had to set him straight. Had to set him on the right path. He said it himself. That ass whooping helped him. Ramirez, Shakur scared of size. Mind you, Shakur slow. Shakur scared of size. How did you come up with that? I don't know. And Shakur slow. How did you come up with that? I don't know. Like, slow and scared? Ramirez, that's the reason why you don't have a ranch, bro. You be saying some shit that I'm like, what are you talking about? That, you see, Ramirez, you asked earlier why you don't got a ranch. That right there. You're going to say multi-division, world champion, unified champion is slow and scared. I don't know what to tell you, bro. That's not how you get a wrench with shit like that. Mikey Malcriado, facts. He betting Floyd numbers. He beating Floyd numbers. Come on, man. Look at the accomplishments. All we got to do is look at the accomplishments. Look what Shakur has accomplished by the age of 28. Did he turn 29? I think he may have turned 29 recently. I'm not sure. Mikey Malcriado, what Shakur have you been watching? Tupac? I mean, I don't know. Look at the accomplishments. Look what he's doing. And look who he's potentially fighting next. Teofimo Lopez. Notice how Ramirez, we was talking about Tank Davis, and now he went into Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney. He's talking about everybody else. Shakur's fighting Teofimo. Who Tank fighting? Who is Tank fighting? You see? Mikey Malcriado, Shakur's far from slow. Like, come on, bro. You sit here and say that Shakur is slow. You're lucky that you haven't been blocked. People been blocked for saying stuff that was less dumb. Ramirez, I know who can beat Shakur real shit, but he don't get in the ring with those fighters. Man, listen, ask Tank Davis to get in the ring with those fighters. When, Ramirez, are you going to ask Tank to get in the ring with those fighters? Let us know. Look how you find opponents for Shakur. Why you can't find opponents for Tank, Ramirez? That's what I never understand. You got opponents for Buzz so he could fight the best. You got opponents for Shakur so he could fight the best. Ramirez, find us opponents for Tank, bro. Can you do that? You were celebrating Tank fighting Jake Paul. Can you find us an opponent for Tank? Damn. Ramirez, but why do y'all want Tank so bad? But why do you want Shakur so bad? We talking about Jake Paul and AJ, and you stuck on Shakur. He said, why do y'all want Tank so bad? Why do you want Shakur so badly, bro? You see how you go for hours if you can about Shakur. As soon as Tank come out, why do you want Tank so bad? Who do you want Tank to fight? Y'all bet Tank that he greatness. Y'all say Tank Duck and he fight. But who do you want Tank to fight? You're saying you got opponents for Shakur. What are your opponents for Tank? Tell us. Mikey Macria, we love Tank. It's just frustrating and disappointing that he don't fight to name somebody. John Parham and bro wanted the link. John, you see he was going to get cooked like in the first round. First round knockout. Ramirez, you know I got to spice up the show. Move the goalposts a little. Jay Smith don't want to smoke with me. Come on, Ramirez. You're getting knocked out early. Early. You can't even name somebody. You can't even say, yo, I want this guy to fight Tank. You just literally don't want nobody to fight Tank. Come on, bro. Don't do it to yourself. And you're still talking about Shakur. You're still talking about Shakur. I'm going to tell you what. No matter what you want to say about Shakur, you already know he's going to be the face of boxing. And this man right here, AJ, Anthony Joshua, is going to sleep him. Right there. Right there, my peoples. This man is going to sleep. I'm expecting it to be a real fight. And based off of that, I have Jake Paul going to sleep. Now, for the over and under, I have it 6 rounds, my people. The audio, I don't know if it's just you, Ramirez. Can anybody else hear me? Can anybody else hear me, my people? Mic check. Mike Macria, I respect Jake for getting in the ring with him. I respect him too. My peoples, let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Mikey Macria, it broke up. I left and came back. It's good now. Okay, that's what's up. Is this fight gonna go past 6 rounds? I find it hard to believe it, y'all. I find it hard to believe that AJ and Jake Paul goes past 6 rounds. If it's a real fight, y'all boy gonna go to sleep. If it's a real fight, Ramirez's boy is going to sleep. I'm telling you that right now, Ramirez. Don't bet the house on Jake Paul like you wanted to bet the house on Canelo Alvarez. Okay? You should have learned. You should have learned. Canelo let you down, Jake Paul is going to let you down. Listen to me. The only way Corey B, Jake Paul is in trouble. Bro, the only way that I don't see Jake Paul going to sleep is if the referee save him. If it's that type of situation that he's getting pummeled in the rope, like he goes into a shell, bam, 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 and the referee step in. Then like that, he could avoid going to sleep. That's one way to avoid taking a nap. But if Jake Paul goes into this fight feeling like he can win it, right? Feeling like he can actually beat AJ, he's gonna go to sleep. And it is going to be brutal. Brutality, my people. Let's see how it plays out, man. I already told you guys, a very reliable source, my peoples, was like, yo, Jay, it's going to be a real fight. I asked him, look, I'm somebody that I'm not into misunderstandings. I'm not into confusion, none of that. I asked straight up, yo, is this going to be a real fight? Let me know. The answer that I got was, yes, sir. It's for real. Side, Jake Paul going night-night. I think this fight is going to end in brutal fashion. Unfortunately for Jake, brutal fashion. That's how I see it ending. And I don't mean in Jake Paul's favor. And I told you guys, the reason I see it ending in brutal fashion is because Jake Paul may actually believe that he can win the fight. And he's not going to be there to survive. He's going to be there trying to win. AJ's going to clip him. AJ is going to clip him, my peoples. There's levels. There's levels to this. Don't ever forget it. There's levels. And when we see a huge gap in skills, it always shows up in the ring. This is going to be no different. Anthony Joshua, a fighter who has that pedigree, who has success in the Olympic Games, been a world champion multiple times. My peoples. Anthony Joshua is going to put the Dre, the Swiss, and the respective Apple beats on Jake Paul. Don't forget to subscribe to Box Center 2.0, my peoples. We're at 35 subscribers. We need 15 more to get to 50. When we're going to kick off the new show where there's going to be a hotline. You guys are going to call in. We're going to be trash talking. Y'all going to be able to see Ramirez calling in and getting cooked on the hotline. Ramirez, I hope you're ready for that smoke. You're going to get cooked. Just know that. I guess, my people, that we all agree, Jake, or most of us, I guess that most of us agree, Jake Paul versus AJ does not go past 6 rounds. I don't see it going past 6 rounds. And I guess a lot of you don't see that either. Most of us don't see it. Somebody going to sleep. And it looks like it's going to be the problem child. The problem child is going to experience some serious problems. The Boost Traveler. What's the name of the second channel again? Or do you have a link that you can post on the chat? Yeah, it's right there. I pinned it on the chat. Look at it right there. It's pinned on the chat. Box Center 2.0. Ramirez, if Jake does 5 rounds with Joshua, it's a win for Jake. I'm going to be honest with you. If it's a real fight, I believe it's already a win for Jake. Even if he gets slept, I'm going to give him his credit. Because he finally went in there. I wasn't even expecting him to fight AJ, of course. like nobody was. But he's finally gonna fight somebody who's gonna be a serious threat to him. All those advantages that we used to see him enjoy are not gonna be there. He's fighting the guy that's too old. AJ's not too old. Fighting the guy that's too little. AJ a big dude. Fighting a non-boxer. AJ's a world caliber fighter. So all of these advantages that we've seen him enjoy in the past, that we criticize him for, they're not going to be present for this fight. So now we have to acknowledge it. Anybody who say, oh, he not real, he not real, you're going to have to take this one. Take this one, my peoples, because it is legit. The Boost Traveler. Okay, I subbed to the 2.0 channel. Appreciate it, my brother. By the way, the videos that you see on Box Center 2.0 are only posted on there. They'll never be on this channel, on Instagram, on Facebook, anywhere. You can only catch them on that channel. So the Boost Traveler, you may have seen, you may notice that there's some videos there. I don't want you to think that, oh, I already saw these. No. None of the videos that you see on Box Center 2.0 you have seen, because they only posted on that channel. And again, my peoples, we're at 35, 36 subscribers, only waiting to get to 50. The same day we get to 50, I'm going to announce the name of the show, when it's dropping, and we're going to be going at it. That hotline is going to open up, and it's coming in hot, my people. Well, you already know, I told you. Trash talking to the highest level, to the most elite level, is allowed. The people that you see me sending on breaks and blocking, I'm not going to do that over there. Over there, it's allowed. You getting coached. You out of there. But if you're talking boxing, whether you want to make a prediction, whether you want to trash talk, whether you want to say that somebody's a bum, whether somebody don't know shit about boxing, whether you want to call in and say the previous caller don't know shit about boxing, whatever we got, we're going to go in, my peoples. That's why we need Box Center 2.0, because I don't know if YouTube is going to let us rock. Going to be people cursing each other out and everything. Get ready. This is going to be something different. That's all I got to tell you. But let's wait to see all the details come out. Right now, what's out there is that they're close to agreeing or something like that. But, we haven't had any formal announcement. I'm looking forward to it, my peoples. And by the way, it's fight week. Before we get to that, my peoples, what do you guys think about the zone? According to Steven Espinoza, the zone is blocking Vergil Ortiz versus Errol Spence. They're not having it. Think about that. What's up, Christopher? According to Steven Espinoza, the zone does not want Vergil Ortiz to fight Errol Spence. And I think it's for obvious reasons. I think it's obvious why they don't want it. And I'm going to tell you why. Vergil Ortiz is a Golden Boy fighter. Jaron Bruce Ennis is a Matchroom fighter. They both fight on the zone. Errol Spence is a PBC fighter. They have a deal with Amazon Prime. So where exactly does this fight happen? If Vergil is going to fight Errol, where does that fight happen, and who is the A side? You telling me that the zone is going to say, yeah, cool, go fight over there. Make them the bag. So for obvious reasons, business-wise, the zone would benefit more if Virgil Ortiz fights Jerome Bruce Ennis. You see how interesting it is how fans wanted to build the narrative about how Errol Spence is more popular and in Dallas Stadium and all this money. Well, guess what? The Zone don't give a shit about that. The Zone want to make it an in-house fight. Just like PBC makes them in-house fights. Remember this side of the street, in-house, keeping the money on this side? You want the Zone to allow one of the biggest name, the young stars that they have, to go over there. Remember Oscar De La Hoya when they asked him why Ryan Garcia was not going to fight Jake Paul? And he said it's very simple. Jake Paul's on Netflix. Ryan Garcia has an exclusive contract to fight on the Zone. That's it. There's nothing else to explain, really. That's it. What do we talk? There's nothing else to talk about. He's over there, we over here. That's it. There's no difference when it comes to this situation now. Same deal. Same deal. Virgil Ortiz fights on the Zone. Errol Spence on Amazon Prime. So why would the Zone, who has an exclusive contract to have Virgil fight on that network and Boots fight on that network, why would they want Virgil to go fight on the other side of the street, as the PBC would call it, with Errol Spence? To mention, Errol Spence, like Sai just said, has been inactive for almost 3 years. Over 2 years of inactivity. So at the end of the day, you guys know that I've been saying Virgil Ortiz needs to fight Jerome Bruce Ennis. Those of you who tuned in to today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast and who tuned in yesterday night, you know that I'm not with it. I'm not with the bullshit. And the thing is, and I respect, on Lace, my brother, I respect those who gave me my flowers for that. Because those of you who know me long enough, you know that Virgil's one of my guys. You could go back to the videos, back to all my coverage of Virgil Ortiz. He's one of my favorite fighters, one of my young favorite fighters. But I'm not biased, my peoples. If you one of my favorite fighters and I feel like you ducking, I'ma say it. That's the truth. He looking like he trying to duck Jerome Bruce Ennis. And look, for those of you tuning in right now, I ask you, my peoples, and I asked that question this morning too. Hey, this fucking dog. I asked the question this morning. So I ask you guys right now. When you saw Virgil and Boots go face to face, did it look like Virgil want to make that fight? When you saw them face to face, that Virgil just had that smile in his face, did he look like he want to fight Boots? I'm telling you right now, that man did not look like he want that action with Boots, y'all. He didn't look like it. He looked like he was scared to death. It was you guys that was talking. We was only retaliating. We was only responding to you guys. And Boots over there like, yeah, whatever, what's up? We right here right now. Like Boots was out there looking like he was ready to beat him up. To dish out a proper beating. I'm trying to tell you, my people. Look at, you know when somebody's ready for a proper beating? And then Boots was in his face looking like Debo? Come on, my peoples. Come on, let's keep it 100. Yo, when they faced off each other, nothing about Virgil, his demeanor told me that he want to fight Boots. Sai, it was retaliation. You started it. No, and then the guy that's there with him interviewing is like, yeah, but what do you think? You know, he's saying this. You want to make this fight? No, but they're the ones that started it. We was just responding. Man, shut the hell up. You over there copping please. Why are you copping please? Why you not telling us, or why you not telling Boots what you gonna do to him? And then Boots like, yeah, I got something for you. I got something for you. Nah. You ain't got nothing for me. You ain't got nothing for me. Man, shut your goofy ass up. What you mean you ain't got nothing for me? MAW. Salute Jay in chat. Good morning from Australia. Ooh, my brother. What's the deal, my G? Bam. Side. Boost like. Yo, Boost had that serious. I'm telling you, Boost was looking like Debo out there. It was like Debo and Virgil's face looked like he was ready to get his bike took. He looked like he was ready to get got right there on the spot. Y'all know I'm not lying. Virgil looked like he was ready to get his bike took. So, when I watched that face-off, it just didn't sit right with my spirit. I was like, damn. I don't know, man. It just don't feel right the way Virgil acted. And then all of a sudden, I see Virgil talking about my dream fight is Errol Spence, and I want to fight other people. All this other stuff. Come on, man. Come on. After the fight, the way it looked to me is like he was saying, I want to fight everybody but Boots. That's how I took it. Ramon Seafood. Salute, my brother. Bam. Let me know, my peoples, is Virgil Ortiz ducking Jerome Boots Ennis. And by the way, I'm happy with the fact that the Zone is not backing the Errol Spence fight. I'm happy with that. No. You got this guy right in front of your face. Look, I want to tell you guys something that people don't even consider. But I want you to consider. So watch this. For the next 3 minutes, check it out. Ramon Seafood, check it out. Why he didn't call Errol Spence in the ring. Trying to tell you, man. Virgil Ortiz is not Dr. Martin Luther King. And look, I'm going to put it like this. I want you to take this into consideration. For the next 3 minutes, I'm going to make you guys the Zone executives. You guys, right? All of you right now, for the next 3 minutes, you're a DAZN executive. During the lead up to Virgil Ortiz versus Lubin, as an executive, we get an email. We're all tagged in that email. The email reads, Ed Hearn and Jerome Boots Ennis want to come to the Lubin fight, and they want to call him out. Can we proceed with a plan to start building this fight? You're all executives with the Zone, right? We all give it the green light. We all give it the green light. We like, yeah, let's push that. So every one of you and myself, we agree that we're going to promote that. What does that mean? We're going to promote it. Instead of making them buy tickets, we're going to give them front row tickets. Tickets that are worth thousands of dollars. We're going to give it to him and Eddie Hearn so they could sit right there. That's number one. That's already money right there. Number two, we're going to assign a limo to pick them up from the hotel and bring them to the venue. That's money right there. Number three, we're gonna assign a cameraman with expensive ass equipment. He's gonna capture their arrival at the arena. He's gonna capture them on scene. We're also gonna coordinate with the team so that they can let him in the ring. We're gonna have somebody escort him into the ring. People don't understand that all of this is planning, time, and resources and money. You're paying people that are making all these things happen for you. Now we're gonna get them in the ring, and guess what? When we got them in the ring, we're gonna have a camera crew that's gonna capture everything. Bam, bam, bam. They're gonna catch them face to face. That we're gonna coordinate with the guy talking so that he can let them go, give him the mic, let them go back with each other, back and forth. People don't realize how much effort it takes for that build-up. So now remember, we all executives. We all the zone executive. We're watching it play out. Yes, there we go. Boots is in the ring. They're going at it. They're going face to face. We're watching it. We're all excited because we're going to build up this fight, this huge fight. And then right after Virgil Ortiz gets away from Boots and gets in front of another camera, he says, well, my dream fight would be Errol Spence. That's why I really want to fight. Now think about it. We're the zone executives. And we spent all this money, time, and effort into building this moment. And the first thing this nigga does is say that he want to fight Errol, a PBC fighter that fights on Amazon Prime. How would you feel about that? I would want to kill him, B. I'm like, bro, we just built all of this shit up so this dude could call out somebody else? We really gave these people free tickets, travel, and I don't know if they did that. I'm just assuming. You're right, I'm just assuming. But we put time and resources into having this face-off. Look at all them videos that the zone put up about Boots and Virgil. You don't think that's time and resources and money putting these cameramen capturing these scenes, taking these images? And then after all that, he call out Errol? How would you feel, bro, if you're an executive and that happens? How would you be happy with Virgil? If you signed off, you got that email just like everybody else, and you agree, yeah, let's invest this little money. Let's put some resources into Virgil and Errol because that's the fight that's going to happen. So let's do it. Put the camera guy, put this person, get the hotel people, get everything going. Let's set this plan in motion. And then Virgil's like, yeah, I want to fight Errol Spence. Ramon Sifu. Zone tells Virgil, you need to fight Boots first. It's in-house fight. It makes sense. Come on now. It's not just that it makes sense. It's that the zone spent money, time, and resources to build that moment up. For Virgil to say that he want to fight somebody else, we would have never even did that. We would have never even did all that. And then Virgil, he looks bad. You know why? Because we all saw him when he said, Boots, come over here. Boots. He called Boots over. And even at the end of that exchange, he was like, so it's a yes? So it's a yes? And Boots was like, what you mean it's a yes? Yo, Eddie, get that paperwork, man. What you mean? So you asking him if it's a yes, and right when you get off, you start calling about all these other fighters? Come on, man. You was capping in that ring. No wonder you had that scared to death smile on your face. Talk about, they started it. We was only retaliating. No wonder you look like you was ready to get your bike took by Debo. Tony T, I believe that it's his team that is telling him to do this. The zone needs to make money. He won't be any good if he's beat by Boots. Spence is the larger payday. You see, that's the problem. You're talking about Spencer's the larger payday. You're talking about an inactive fighter who hasn't been in the ring for 2 years, who never fought at 154. That's wicked stuff. Y'all wicked. Y'all wicked, bro. Brascarog, laughing my ass off. Spence, shaking my head, bro. Damn. They want Spence to come off inactivity straight to the young bull. And the funny thing is, they've been saying that Boots was ducking. Boots is ducking. Boots is ducking. Now Errol Spence is the better option. You see how people give somebody an excuse to duck? If it would have been somebody else, you would have said it's a duck. But it's Virgil, and you don't like Boots, so Errol's the better option. That's crazy. That's crazy. But the zone, the zone, you see, that's what the part that you're missing, Tony T. You one of them, you one of them, uh, business fans that talk about the business aspect and what makes more money. Well, Tony T, I'm pretty sure you know about the other side of the street stuff. Why would the zone sign off on fighting Errol Spence, who's a PBC fighter, when Boots is a DAZN fighter? Why? Why would they sign off on that? It don't only go one way, champ. You can't say, well, PBC gonna keep the money in-house, but they gotta share it with the star. It don't work that way, fam. At all. The zone not trying to send that bag over here. Just like PBC not trying to send that bag over here, the zone not trying to send it over there. Same deal. Ramon Sifu, Errol Spence will be a side against Virgil. But that's the problem. You think the zone is gonna sign off on that? No. If Errol Spence is gonna be the A side versus Virgil, Errol Spence ain't gonna be fighting Virgil. That fight is not happening. That's the reality. Tony T, you talking about Spence is not shot. I never said Spence was shot. And I never said that he wasn't a bigger name. I just told you, you skipping that, Tony T, because you don't want to accept it. Errol Spence is a PBC fighter. PBC, as you know, has a contract with who? With Amazon Prime. Virgil Ortiz is on where? The zone. You understand that? You understand what that means, Tony T? You don't understand what it means. We could get into detail, but I think you could put it together on your own. All those calculations that you're making don't matter to the zone. They not trying to split the bag. Just like PBC does it in-house, the zone does it in-house too. Easy to see that. And it's already out there. It's already reported that the zone said, we're not going to sign off on the Spence fight. Now, let me ask you something. Tony T. Do you think the PBC is going to allow Errol to play the B side and go fight Virgil on the zone? Answer that yourself. Come on. Not happening. It's not happening. Side, the zone in-house fight is battle for business. It's not just battle for business. It's a battle fight, period. Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Boots Ennis. Two young, hungry, undefeated fighters, both in their 20s. Of course that's a better fight than Virgil Ortiz and 2.5 years of inactivity, Errol Spence making his debut at 154. That don't even make no sense. Only people who hate Jaron Boots Ennis prefer that fight. It's not even about wanting that fight. It's really about how much they hate Jaron Boots Ennis. They hate Boots so much that they don't want him to get the fight. They don't want him to get it. That's really what that's about. Because who was asking for Virgil to fight Errol? Who was asking for that fight? Who was saying, yo, I want Virgil versus Errol? Nobody. But they prefer that fight so that Boots don't get the opportunity to beat him up. And I'm going to tell you something. Right now, I'm going to tell you. Boots want to fight. Virgil side talking about money. Nah, you got to pay us. Give me my money. I seen this before. Y'all remember when Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence was going at it? He got to take 80% if we give him that. He got to take 70. Crawford just want to fight. They over there talking about money and percentages. And what happened to the fighter that was talking about money and how much we got to get? Got absolutely pummeled and battered. That's what happened to Arrow. The beating of a lifetime. And guess what? Virgil and his team, they asking for money and they need this amount of money and these terms to fight. That's what that means. They know what's coming. They're going to delay it as long as they can. But when they fight, I already know Boost is going to batter him. Batter him. So they're going to delay it as much as possible. When they find each other in the ring, you know how it goes down. Tony T, no, but PBC has no money and it will be giving Virgil an easier fight, but a big name. So again, Tony T, if you understand that, then you should understand that you keep focusing on Virgil get a name and Virgil gonna make more money, but you keep skipping the fact, Tony T, that Virgil don't make those decisions. He not the boss, bro. He don't run he don't got his own company. He don't make that decision. He can't just decide to fight Errol because it's going to give him money and it's going to give him whatever. He can't make that decision, bro. So if the zone says we not doing business with PBC, we doing an in-house fight, Virgil's not fighting Errol no matter what you want to say about how Errol's going to be good for him. It don't matter. Brasker up. Bing, bop, pow. I think Spence beat Virgil. Look, coming off of inactivity, I'm not sure, honestly. Because I'd have to see how Spence is going to look for multiple reasons, which I think some of them are obvious. Honestly, I think Spence is the underdog. If he comes back straight to Virgil, he's the underdog in that fight. Ramon Sifo, Boost gave up part of his purse in his last fight. It's a question mark about Spence. Corey B, Spence can't beat Virgil now. I'm telling you, man. I think it's tough to just say, oh, Virgil could just come in there and beat up Virgil just out of the blue. When he ain't fighting over 2 years, he's 35 years old. You know, if you haven't seen a guy, it's tough to predict that he's going to be exactly the same as we've seen him before. You don't know how Spence's punch resistance is going to be. You don't know if he's going to get hit with a hard jab and go down and get wobbly off of that. We got to see him. Corey B, Spence can't beat Virgil right now. I don't see it. Right now, off of inactivity, I mean, anything can happen, but nah, not like that, man. Now, he comes back, does a tune-up, looks good, looks like the old Arrow. Second fight back, I got him beating Virgil. Second fight back. First one, nah. Not the first one, my peoples. I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. But right now, the real conversation is Jerome Boost Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. And I'm going to be honest, my peoples. I'm disappointed. You fans that want to make the argument for Virgil versus Arrow, I'm disappointed in y'all, man. I'm disappointed in you guys. Like, that's such a biased perspective. Like, you hate Boots so bad that you don't want him to get the fight. You don't want him to fight the guy that's finally gonna stop people from saying that he didn't beat nobody, that he don't got no names. And this always happens. Because I'm gonna remind you guys, I did a survey. And people didn't want to see Teofimo fight Shakur. Espérame, amor, espérame. My peoples, give me a second. Let me take a quick commercial break. 1 minute, and I'll be right back. Wait right there, my peoples. Stay with me. My peoples, I gotta address real quick, man, some funny ass joint that I noticed. And I've been kind of letting it go, but I remembered. Why is it that Tim Bradley is talking about Virgil should ask for more money, Virgil should ask for 20 million, and he don't need Boots? Yo, listen, Tim Bradley, I got mad respect for him because of what he accomplished inside the ring and what he's doing outside the ring. But I don't understand why he seemed to be taking sides, not just looking at what it is. It's like he's taking sides and he's making pro Virgil Ortiz arguments. Why? And you know, against Jerome Boots Ennis. Like, why would you do that? If you, especially if you want to see the biggest fights, why would you make an argument for why the fight can't be made? So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all from Tim Bradley. And much respect to him. Respect and love to Tim Bradley. But I just don't appreciate it. My people, check out the view. Let me show y'all this view real quick. That's what it's looking like out here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's live was to address Jake Paul versus AJ. We already know this fight is looking like it's going down. We're going to get it apparently in December. Looking like it's going to be a real fight. Everybody's expecting AJ to knock Jake Paul out. The over and under 6 rounds. I say it doesn't make it. I say it doesn't go over 6 rounds. That's my take, my people. Anyways, I'm about to get the hell out of here. Remember, y'all, tomorrow, Boxing for Breakfast kicks off at 7:30-ish a.m. Eastern Time. And y'all know it. We're going to be talking boxing. We're going to be doing what we do. By the way, my peoples, don't forget to subscribe to Box Center 2.0. We're getting closer to 50 subscribers, closer to that new show that is going to change the game. We're going to see the most elite level, world caliber trash talking you ever seen, my peoples. Y'all already know what it is, man. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Hit that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Jay Smith signing off. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers' favorite boxing show. Peace out, y'all. Hablamos mañana, mi gente.